Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Daria, and the monthly theme for the practices here on my channel in October is magic. And so today's practice is called Witch's Brew. So we'll be playing with all of the different elements that we add into the concoction of our practice, thinking of sprinkling in breath and movement and mindful awareness all together to make this really lovely witch's brew. We'll also be playing a little bit into some femininity exploration in the practice today, kind of slinkier movements and a little bit of playfulness. So for this class, all that you need is yourself and a space to move. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll get started today from Sukhasana, a nice and easy seat. So find your way here, allowing your sit bones and your pelvis to really anchor you down. And then you can place your palms either facing up to the sky or down on your thighs, whatever is feeling better for you. If you usually gravitate toward one or the other, maybe try something different today, just to see. And then close your eyes and start to let your shoulders settle down your back. Feel that the sides of your neck are lengthening, and then continue that elongation up through the tips of your ears and through the very top of your skull, like it's being pulled toward the sky. Crown of your head is being pulled toward the sky. And start just by noticing your body in space. Notice how it feels to settle into a bit of grounding in the pelvis. How it feels to sit up straight and tall. This might feel maybe even a little uncomfortable if you're used to sitting at a desk all day and you might be unconsciously rounding your spine or shortening the sides of the neck. And so notice what it feels like to draw the shoulder blades a little together and broaden through your collarbones, keeping the space of the heart really open and receptive. Let the palms of your hands soften. Relax all your fingers and your finger joints. And then settle into the breath. Feel your breath gradually travel deeply to the core of your pelvis. And as you breathe in, feel it radiate up your spine all the way to the surface of the collarbones. When you exhale, send the breath back down that same channel. And eventually it can soften into the hip creases, removing any tension there. Take a few easy breaths. In today's practice, it's like we're putting together a recipe. So there's all the ingredients that we're throwing into the sort of cauldron for this witch's brew. And then there's also an element of creativity and uniqueness. So you can add in like a little dash of whatever spice or flavor is feeling good and working for you today. It's like following a blueprint, but allowing for some liberties along the way. Start to cultivate Ujjayi Pranayama now. So your inhales and exhales will both come through the nose. And it's an audible breath. And there's a soothing quality to the sound. And don't fixate on the breath being perfect or doing it correctly necessarily. Just try to feel it from the inside out. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. And draw your palms to meet at heart center. And take a moment now to set a sweet intention for your movement practice today. And maybe your intention comes from something you're processing, or maybe it's like a question that you're searching for some answers to, that you'd like to gain some insight around. Or maybe it's just an intention to sprinkle some creative flavor into your practice today. Whatever it is, take a big breath into the intention and release. Blink your eyes open. On your next inhalation, circle your fingertips wide and then all the way up overhead. As you exhale, tip your right ear down towards your right shoulder, stretch your left fingertips out to the side, and then grab for the left ear with your right hand. Let the weight of your head become heavy into gravity, and breathe through the left side of your neck, opening up space. Inhale through center, reach up and look up. And then exhale, left ear drops down towards your shoulder, right fingertips toward the side. It's like you're reaching for something that's on the ground next to you, but you can't quite get to it. So you're extending past the edges of the fingertips. Head gets heavy. Inhale, stretch up through center. And then exhale, bring your hands to interlace at the back of your head as you allow your chin to bow toward your chest. Create a gentle press onto the back of your skull, allowing for a deeper stretch into the back of your throat. And lift your head and release your hands down to your thighs. Let's just take 2 neck circles in each direction. So start with the chin down toward the chest, rolling the head out toward the right side first, all the way up and around and to the left. You can go at whatever pace you like. If you want to move even slower, you can. Or if you're feeling like faster circles, that's fine too. And as always, feel free to stop and explore any spots that might feel a little sticky or tight or held. Reverse as you're ready. Take around 2 circles to the left. Try to keep the chest open. And then neutralize your spine. Lift your head so that it stacks over your shoulders. And now we'll make some circles into the ribs. So palms plant down, reach your heart forward, and then carry the ribs on a circle toward the right, all the way around into the back and the left. This doesn't have to necessarily look any particular way. Just try to feel that the circles are initiating from the space of the ribs. Take a couple in this direction, and then reverse, ribs to the left first. Feel simultaneously a contraction into your side body and then an expansion through the opposite side. And then it's the same thing with the front and back bodies as you contract and expand. Good. Neutralize the spine. And let's make our way up to a tabletop now. Hands and knees. The shoulders will align over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Take a breath in, anchor your finger pads down, and then stretch your right toes long and back behind you. As you exhale, squeeze right knee to right tricep. Hold here for 3, 2, contract your core. 1, inhale, kick back. As you exhale, tap your right toes down, crossing your right knee over the left one to the back of the mat. Good. Inhale, kick back, squaring your hips. Exhale, squeeze right knee, right tricep. 3, 2, heel is close to sit bone. 1, inhale, extend. Exhale, cross right leg behind the left one and tap your toes down. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, right knee, right tricep, squeeze. 3, hollow your core. 2, press the ground away. 1, inhale, kick back. Exhale, this time bend your right knee and cross the right one behind the left. You can bring the top of your right foot down and widen your feet as far as they'll go comfortably until you start to feel some sensation into your hips. Now explore this space. You might play with shifting the hips back as though you're coming into a child's pose, except that the legs are threaded, or you can make more of a circular action through the pelvis. Imagine here that you're like stirring up the breath and the movement together. So everything's interacting in this beautiful, sensational way. Come back to a neutral tabletop, right knee down. Reaffirm the connection between your palms and the earth. And then on your next inhale, left toes stretch back behind you. As you exhale, squeeze left knee to your tricep. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, cross your inner thighs and tap your left toes down behind you. Inhale, extend your leg long. Exhale, squeeze in. 3, 2, claw into your finger pads. 1, inhale, kick. Exhale, tap left toes down. One more time. Inhale, reach long and back. Exhale, squeeze. 3, 2, try to bring the knee all the way up to the tricep. 1, inhale, kick back. This time as you exhale, bend the left knee, cross it behind the right one, and then widen your feet so you're creating like a triangle shape between the shins. And then explore. And let it be playful. And there's no need for it to match what you did on the first side. It can be its own experience here. Stay present with what you're feeling. Make your way back to a tabletop. Plant the palms. Curl your toes under. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slow transition all the way up and back to downward facing dog. Feel your spine elongating as the tailbone stretches high to the sky. Now let your breath crawl up and down your spine. Try to really send all your awareness to this action for a couple of rounds. You can micro bend your knees to allow more space for the elongation in the spine. You might even play with stepping your feet a little wider than hips distance, especially if you're feeling some constriction or tightness in the back line of the body. Spread and press into all 10 fingers and all 10 toes, driving down into the foundation, into these anchor points between your skin and the earth beneath you. If you stepped the feet wide, draw them back to hips distance now. Take an inhale, lift your heels, gaze forward to your thumbs. And then as you exhale, one little tiptoe at a time, walk forward to ragdoll. Press into your palms as you go. Try to lift your hips high and pull in through your core. And then finally, let your feet land behind your wrists. They're hips distance apart. Bend your knees a lot in order to bow your belly and your chest down over your thighs. Today, let's interlace the fingers at the back of the head and create a little bit of a pulling down on the head so that the crown can become really heavy. If you like, you can take the fingers to the back of the neck and give yourself a little massage there. Maybe sway side to side. Notice how it feels to shift your weight from one foot to the other. Release your fingertips down. Heel toe your feet together to touch. Plug your big toes and your pinky toes in particular deeply into the earth. Micro bend your knees. And then roll up to stand, but keep the idea of ragdolling into your torso so the head stays heavy as you roll up for 3, for 2. At the top, shoulders fall down your back. Lift your head. Take a breath in, circle your fingertips wide to the side, and then all the way up overhead, gaze to your thumbs. As you exhale, simply draw your palms to meet at heart center. Again, breathe in like you're giving the sky a big hug. Stretch your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold. Reach back through your inner thighs and then bow your heart down. Crown of head reaches for your toes. Inhale to a halfway lift. Fingertips can drag up your shins or they can stay rooted to the earth. Now here, feel that your tailbone is gliding back and the crown of your head is stretching forward. Pull in through your low ribs. As you exhale, place your palms down and step to plank. Breathe in, lean forward, shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, chaturanga on the toes or the knees. Elbows hug in toward the ribs, lower halfway down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. In up dog, the tops of the thighs hover, toenails plug down, lift your pelvic floor, squeeze your shoulder blades. As you exhale, hug belly button to spine to initiate the lifting of your hips up and back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, come back to the foundational aspects of anchoring into hands and feet, and then allowing breath and body to communicate. Feel that your hands and your feet are hugging toward one another, meaning left hand and right hand are kind of squeezing toward the midline, and same with left foot and right foot. Inhale, lift your heels, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, bend your knees, and at the bottom of the breath, step or hop to the top, forward fold, toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift, extend through your spine. Exhale, fold. Root your feet, breathe in, rise up to stand, reverse swan dive. Gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, palms to prayer, heart center. And we'll take 2 more rounds of sun A just like this. Breathe in, sweetly reach your arms to the sky, gaze up. Exhale, dive down, extend through your spine and connect your core as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift, iron it out. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, step or float back, lower halfway. Inhale, 2 upward facing dog. Arc your heart forward like a spotlight. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. 3 steady, fluid breaths. Equalize the length of the inhales and the exhales. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop, top of your mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold down. Breathe in, root to rise. Toes grip the earth, fingertips float. Exhale, palms to prayer, heart center. Breathe in, look up, gaze up. Exhale, dive down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, your flow. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And see if you can infuse the breath with a quality of sweetness, of coziness, or something that's soothing to you. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or float, top of your space. Breathe in, halfway lift out of your spine. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, press through the feet and rise up to stand, gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, palms to prayer, heart center. Breathe in, fingertips rise, gaze up. Exhale, this time dive down, but just halfway. So it's like you're pausing kind of in a halfway lift. Arms are extended out to the sides. As you exhale, bend your knees deeply, shift the weight to your heels, and then tickle the ground with your fingertips. As you inhale, float your arms up to the sky, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, slide your shoulders down your back and sit deeper into your hips. Hug your inner thighs together. And just take a moment here to breathe. Inhale, lengthen your chest forward. Exhale, fold forward. Legs towards straight. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips go high. On your next inhalation, root the left foot and stretch your right leg high, 3-legged down dog. As you exhale, lift your left heel, hollow your core and hug right knee through to right tricep, hold and squeeze. 3, 2, press the ground away. 1. Inhale, kick high, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, similarly to what we did on the knees, cross your inner thighs and tap your right toes down to the back left corner of your mat. Inhale, kick high, right leg. Exhale, squeeze, knee to tricep. 3, 2, bring them all the way to touch. 1, inhale, kick. Exhale, tap right toes down, crossing at the inner thighs. Last time, inhale, kick high. This time, as you exhale, hug knee to chest, chin, nose, or forehead, gaze forward, and then step forward, right foot, right thumb. Sink your back knee down. As you inhale, stretch your fingertips up to the sky, kneeling warrior. As you exhale, fingertips can come down over the top of the right thigh, or you can sink your pelvis down and forward and maybe float your fingertips down to blocks or to the mat. Now, often in the practices here on my channel, we're squeezing the legs together and kind of staying lifted into the kneeling warrior. Today, keep these actions and allow for the hips to melt. So there's a little bit of activation between the inner thighs still, and there's a lifting of the pelvic floor and the low belly. Take one more breath here. If you like, you can go into a little baby back bend, leaning your heart up to the sky, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Good. Start to squeeze your inner thighs together. Bring your fingertips down to frame the right foot and lift your left knee. Plug your big toes down. As you breathe in, stretch your fingertips up to the sky into a high crescent lunge. As you exhale, just sink. Feel the legs and the feet rooting deeply. Now draw in through your waist. It's as though your ribs are gonna float away from your hips. So you're creating so much lift up and out of the torso. Shoulders stay soft down your back. One more inhale. As you exhale, twist, left fingertips forward, right fingertips reach back. Feel that the twist is coming from the base of your ribs, through the middle ribs, then eventually to the shoulder blades, the neck, the head, and the eyes can go back over the right fingertips. Inhale, exalted warrior. Right hand comes down to the back of left thigh. Left arm rises up to the sky. Keep pressing your feet down and squeeze your inner thighs a little together, and then lean into your back body. Gaze toward the left fingertips. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, windmill your arms open. We're coming into warrior two. So pivot the back heel down, angle your toes in slightly. Tuck your right sit bone underneath of you, and then sink into both sides of your pelvis evenly. Stretch through the fingertips. We'll take 5 breaths in warrior two, holding maybe just a little longer than is comfortable. And so imagine here that it's like you're simmering all of the ingredients that you've put into your mixture so far. Two more breaths. Soften your gaze, or you can even close your eyes. Inhale. Squeeze right heel and left inner arch of foot together, so much so that the right leg draws towards straight. If you like, you can crawl the left foot in slightly. Then breathe in and reach forward through the right fingertips. Press back through your outer left hip. And as you exhale, find Trikonasana. Right hand can come down to your shin, maybe the ankle, maybe the foot, or possibly the outside of the foot. And then here, it's like you're trying to stack the left hip on top of the right one. The knees can stay a little bit micro bent and keep pressing into your toes, but then pull up through the fronts of your thighs so the quads are energized. Now turn your heart open and look toward the left thumbnail. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stretch the left arm forward over your ear. Inhale here. Extend through the left side body. As you exhale, continue to revolve. Left palm down inside of the right foot. Turn your right toes in and then crawl both palms to the midline into a wide-legged forward fold. As you inhale, lengthen out halfway through your spine. And then as you exhale, place your right palm down beneath your face. Inhale. Left arm rises up toward the sky. Turn your heart open. Little twist. Try to keep the hips neutral and feel that the middle back is where the twist comes from. One more breath. Exhale, release. Left palm down. Inhale. Right fingertips go high to the sky. Look up. Exhale, turn your torso toward the right side of your mat. Press out a little into the knife edges of your feet and take one more breath. And then exhale to release. Inhale, halfway lift. Now, as you exhale, pivot your left toes to turn out, lift your right toes, and then sink to Skandasana, low side lunge to the left side of your mat. You can stay right here, maybe fingertips down, maybe palms to prayer at heart center. If you'd like to go a little deeper, you can sit all the way down to the mat or maybe to a block. Take your left elbow to the front of your thigh, step your fingertips off your mat, and then reach your right arm up high to the sky. Breathe in here. Breathe out, turn your right palm to face back. Circle the top of your hand around to the left sit bone. And then see if you can catch the right fingertips with the left ones. Stay for a couple more breaths. If you're in Skandasana, try to breathe deeply into the left hip crease and keep your spine elongating. If you have the bind, you can release. And then see if without using your hands, you can reach forward and lift your sit bones away from the earth. Good, breathe in here. As you breathe out, fingertips down, turn to face toward the original back of the mat. Place your palms to frame the left foot, and then step to a three-legged plank. So left leg is floating. Inhale, lengthen out. As you exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, three-legged up dog. Heart goes forward, left leg still hovering if you can. Exhale, three-legged down dog. Left leg reaches all the way up and back. Good, take a breath in here. As you breathe out, right away to the other side. Squeeze left knee, left tricep. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale to kick high, three-legged down dog. Exhale, tap your left toes down to the back right corner of the mat. Inhale, kick high. Exhale, squeeze in, knee to tricep touch. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, kick. Exhale, tap your toes down to the back of your mat, crossing at the inner thighs. Inhale, kick high. Exhale, drive your left knee all the way through to your chest, gaze forward, and then step forward. Left foot, left thumb, and sink your back knee down. Breathe in, kneeling warrior. Fingertips rise toward the sky, inner thighs hug toward one another. As you exhale, you can release the fingertips to interlace over the top of the left thigh. Keep squeezing your inner thighs together and then shift your hips down and forward. Maybe fingertips migrate toward the mat. If it's comfortable on your low back, you can start to lean back slightly. Keep lifting up and out. Imagine that there's like a bunch of balloons floating at the back of your heart that are helping it to lift toward the sky. And then begin to rise up. Fingertips down to the mat. Tuck your back toes and lift your right knee. On your next inhalation, float the fingertips high to the sky into your crescent lunge. As you exhale, settle into the foundation of your feet. The back heel stays buoyantly floating over the ball of the foot. Draw in through the waist and lengthen out of your fingertips. Then as you exhale, twist. Right fingertips forward, left fingertips to the back of your mat. Take the revolution gradually, and maybe eventually your gaze will migrate to the back arm. Next, inhale. Left palm comes down to back of right thigh. Arc your heart up toward the sky. Lean into your back body, exalted warrior. Right fingertips are reaching up. Keep lifting the low belly and the pelvic floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. Windmill your arms and come into warrior 2. Right heel pivots down. Align your feet and then settle here. We have 5 more breaths. And even if you're feeling uncomfortable or if there's like an excessive amount of activation into your legs, see if you can keep the breath soft and steady and fluid. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Draw the left leg towards straight. Walk your right foot in slightly if you need to realign for Trikonasana. Then shift the right hip back as left fingertips go forward. And on your exhale, come down into triangle. Tuck the left sit bone underneath of you and press your outer right foot a little bit back. It's like your feet are pressing down and away from one another, keeping length into the sides of your waist. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, stretch your right arm forward over your ear. Breathe in here, breathing between every rib. And then exhale, walk your palms to the midline, turn your left toes in, and find wide-legged forward fold. Take an inhale, lengthen out halfway through your spine. And then as you exhale, this time just fold down. Options, you can hook your big toes with your peace fingers and hang out here. You can take the hands to reach back between your legs, squeeze in through your core and try to draw your belly to your thighs. Or maybe you play with a tripod headstand, placing the elbows to stack over the wrists, plant your palms down. You can come to the very tips of your toes and maybe float your legs away from the earth. And find your way up slowly. If you're in headstand, start to make your way down. Feet back to the earth. And then once you've landed, everyone take a breath in, lengthen out halfway. And this time as you exhale, turn your right toes out, flip your left toes up toward the sky, and then sink to Skandasana, low side lunge to the right. Maybe you stay right here, fingertips down. You can even sit on a block, palms to prayer, or sit all the way to the earth. Press your right elbow forward of your shin. Fingertips step off the mat beside you. Breathe in and stretch your left arm high to the sky. As you breathe out, turn your palms to face back, and then see if you can interlace your fingers over the top of the right sit bone. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift your eyes toward the sky. Couple breaths. Ask yourself what you can smooth out in the body. What's active that doesn't need to be? Release your grip. See if without using your hands, you can come back up to the active Skandasana if you were sitting down. And then everyone pivot to face toward the original top of your mat. Place the palms to frame the right foot, and then glide your leg back into a three-legged plank. Inhale here. Exhale, Ekapada Chaturanga, lower halfway down. Inhale, keep your right leg floating, three-legged up dog. Exhale, three-legged down dog. Lift your leg high to the sky. If you needed to drop the right leg during that transition, no problem. Just breathe in and stretch your right leg high now. Now, as you exhale, cross right knee toward left tricep. Bring the knife edge of your right foot down, crossing it all the way through, and then pivot your left heel down. Bend a little into your left knee, and as you breathe in, stretch your left arm up to the sky. Fall in triangle. As you breathe out, you can pivot your left toes more toward the back of the mat, and then stretch your pelvis forward and up as the left arm goes over your head. Breathe in. And breathe out. Turn to face toward the top of your mat, left palm down. Hug your right knee to your right tricep, and then align your shin for half pigeon. Shin can be angled between 45 and 90 degrees. The left leg crawls back behind you. Now, before you fold forward, breathe in and pull your knees a little toward each other to check that the hips are square. If you'd like, you can kind of lift up and out of your spine. Maybe go for a little back bend here. And then as you're ready, you can come down into a sleeping pigeon. Untuck the back toes if you haven't already. Soften everywhere. Let your pelvis melt into gravity. Let your shoulders and your face and your jaw and your forehead all completely relax. And imagine here, again, that all of the elements that you've sprinkled into your concoction through your practice are just being gently stirred so that they can mingle and interact more thoroughly. Try to spread the breath through every fiber of your body. Make your way back up to your palms. Place them down, tuck your back toes under, and step to downward facing dog. On your next inhalation, glide your left leg high, three-legged down dog. As you exhale, left knee toward right tricep, then kick your leg all the way through toward the right side of the mat. Drop the knife edge of your foot down and turn your back heel down. Breathe in, bend into the left knee, and then stretch your right arm all the way up toward the sky. You can crawl the left foot further away from you and maybe turn your right toes to point all the way back and it's kind of like a fallen triangle wild thing hybrid a little bit, leaning more into your back body. Claw through the left fingertips, breathe in. And then breathe out, turn right toes to point forward. Bring your right palm to the mat and draw the left knee toward the left tricep. Squeeze it here. Then angle your shin to your half pigeon alignment and walk your right toes back. Fingertips pull in toward your pelvis. Take a moment to sit up tall. You can lean back a little bit. Square the hips forward. And when you're ready, come into sleeping pigeon on the second side. And let yourself just melt here. That's all you have to do. Immerse your awareness into the melting process. Let yourself be like made of honey, getting drippier and sweeter with every exhale. Gradually begin to make your way back up to your palms, unless you'd like to stay longer, in which case listen to that. Tuck your back toes and step into a sweet downward facing dog. And let's just take one or two spinal waves to kind of flush everything out. Inhale, lift both heels, pull up your thighs, and gradually round forward into a high plank. As you exhale, lift the tip of your tailbone toward the sky and arch your back as you press back into downward facing dog. One more time, inhale, ripple forward like a wave. Exhale, ride your breath back to downward facing dog. And lift your heels, sink your knees to the mat. From tabletop, untuck your toes and keep walking your palms forward. Anahatasana, puppy pose. The heart and the chin are melting down toward the earth, or if that feels extreme or intense, you can just bring your forehead down, no worries. Soften your low belly wherever you are so you can take really full breaths into it. Spread your sit bones, relax your hip creases and your quads and your feet and your toes. Press down and start to rise up. Walk your hands in, and let's make our way down to a seat. Swing your legs forward to the top of your mat, Anchor the soles of the feet flat. Reach forward with the fingertips. Breathe in here. Breathe out, roll to lie on your back for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once your back body has landed, draw your knees into your chest. And take a moment here to wrap yourself up. Get really cozy in a tight squeeze, drawing the knees into the chest and the nose toward the knees so the shoulder blades lift. And really squeeze super tight here. Take one more breath. Inhale. Stay for the exhale to squeeze more. Big breath in. And then an exhale. Let everything fall open into Shavasana. Lengthen arms and legs wide away from the midline. And let yourself lean a little into your back body. And feel all of the circulations, all of the activations and openings that you created through your practice and through combining all of these ingredients and then mixing them together. And now let yourself simmer into rest. All you have to do is rest. Stay here until you feel like you've been fully baked. Like everything has blended together perfectly and effortlessly. And then when you're ready to come out, deepen the breath. And as the breath deepens, let it bring movement back into your fingers, your toes, maybe even rolling out the wrists and the ankles. On your next inhale, stretch the arms back, toes forward, long body stretch. Exhale, fetal pose, roll to a side and drop. Head to bicep, palms to the earth. Let everything go here. And then press down and rise to a seat. Try to keep your eyes closed. In Sukhasana, the palms can face either up or down on the thighs. And just notice all of the effects of your movement and your breath and synchronizing these with your mindful awareness. take a moment to come back to the intention that you set at the top of the practice. And check in with any discoveries you made around that intention, or any openings you found, any insights, even if they were really subtle. Draw your palms to meet at your heart center. Inhale, reach your heart towards your thumbs. Exhale, bow your chin in slightly toward your chest. Third eye drops toward the tips of your fingers. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this movement practice with me today or tonight. I hope that you're feeling good in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do that down below. You can also join as a monthly donation member. Both of these really help to support me. I so appreciate all of you, and I will see you very soon in the next class.